I'm Laura and welcome to our Highland Homestead. We're just southwest of Inverness, the Highland capital. I live here with my partner Jane and our two dogs Woody and Poppy. I'd already started to become interested in growing a garden, and this property offered us more space, a beautiful scenic setting, and the freedom to create a more sustainable way of life. In our day jobs, we're both project officers, so getting connected back to nature was becoming increasingly important for our mental health. And I just lost my mum too, and this place offered a sanctuary for healing and a way to embark on something new and exciting. When we moved in, the garden had been neglected for some years, but we quickly learned it had once been a thriving kitchen garden, so the bones were there, under the weeds, nettles and raspberry canes. I don't know exactly how big the garden is, but I can tell you, it's big enough. Just getting around the garden in the first few months was quite the challenge. We found fruit bushes, many different varieties of native trees, hedgerow bushes, and beautiful ancient stone walls. There was also a garden shed, composting area, and the perimeter fencing for the vegetable plot. We made a start clearing the land, reclaiming the growing spaces, and making some very early attempts at tree management. We used a brush cutter to create pathways around the garden, and as the first summer arrived, discovered many perennial herbs such as mint, fennel, lovage, chives, marjoram and St John's wort. The garden was also covered in cow parsley, yarrow and loosestrife. Once we could get round the garden using our new pathways, we started to see its full potential.
Feathers in my hair and braids around my waist, I'm almost a bird. These mountain views and pink sunsets got me shedding skin.
Once the land was cleared, we started to think about opportunities to grow our own food, keep a small flock of backyard chickens, and find a healthier pace of life. We built a small wildlife pond and started making plans to build a chicken coop. Don't look too closely, it was the first structure we ever built. The first chickens arrived on the homestead in April 2021. We removed a patch of persistent and out-of-control mint, levelled the ground and put up a small plastic grow house next to a south-facing wall, which also seemed like the ideal place for a sun deck. Then we turned our attention to developing the vegetable plot. We had grown some produce in tubs and small containers, but now we built raised beds from largely reclaimed materials and started growing in earnest. Over time, we've started to experience more of the challenges the weather can bring us up here. The winds are relentless, it rains often, snow is frequent and heavy, and sometimes leaves us cut off for days. Keeping animals safe, warm and dry is our primary concern, especially in autumn and winter, and having a nice garden sometimes feels impossible. On the upside, this place is special. Historically, archaeologically, and it's beautiful too. We're lucky to call it home. Join us for Scottish Highland scenery at its best, through the seasons, and watch as we try to grow our own food, raise chickens, and steward this small patch of heaven. I don't do how-tos, I make far too many mistakes.